Welcome back to the St. Louis Community Foundation. This is Give STL Day 2025 live. My name is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy. This is your 1 p.m. broadcast. There you can see the lineup, so if you're watching for all of these great organizations that are coming up here in this hour, don't go anywhere. Remember too that you can jump in the comments. We got a whole squad of folks that we're going to introduce you to here in the room in just a moment. But we're doing this live stream for you guys at home. Like, we love reading off these comments and hearing about the impact, especially that these groups have made on you. So if you're watching, you're cheering on from home or anywhere around the world where you're watching live on Facebook, YouTube, or on givestlday.org. I'll put your comments on the screen as we get going. But my job first is to introduce our next host. Michael, are you ready?
I'm excited. Yes, Chris.
Michael, welcome. This is your first Give STL Day live stream. Welcome to the hot seat. And why don't you tell us who you are and what you do here at the foundation?
Yes, thank you, Chris. So Michael Whitley here. I'm Director of Development, been here about 5 months. And my responsibility is fundraising for our strategic priorities, which include economic mobility, youth connections, our endowment, and our discretionary dollar. But the fun part about being on this side of Give STL Day is that I was a part of College Bound when it first started more than 12 years ago. So I get to see both sides of it. But I'm excited about what we're about to talk about with these two amazing organizations.
Let's jump right in, Michael. Take it away.
So welcome. I have STL Youth Jobs and I have Fathers and Family Support Center. For these two organizations, we're going to talk about collaboration and the power of collaboration, how it came to be, what they've learned, and just the impact that they have. So with me from STL Youth Jobs, I have Hillary, as well as Jerica, yes? And from Fathers and Family Support Center, I have CEO Cherry, I have Destiny, and I have Jared. So let's just jump right in. You know, fatherhood is important to me. I'm a dad. I was fortunate to have my dad around for me, but what you all do is incredible. I've been a fan of your work for many, many years when your previous CEO was around. And so with the things that you all do, how important fatherhood is, why are our kids in need of what the services that you guys do? And then STL Youth Jobs, if you all would tell me once they start talking what you all do, and then STL Youth Jobs, how the collaboration came to be. I mean, I have a whole list of notes, but I want you all to tell me what you do first.
So at Fathers and Family Support Center, our mission is to foster healthy relationships by strengthening families and communities. And so broad strokes, we provide parenting, instruction, employment placement for the adults that we work with. And for our youth, we have youth mentoring services as well as employment opportunities through our partnership.
That's amazing. STL Youth Jobs, welcome again. I'm excited. Youth are a part of my passion as well and the community that you all serve. What do you all do, if you would please? Yep, just jump right in.
My microphone is okay.
You can pick it up. You can pick it up.
It's like this is my first time, so
you can
sorry.
hold it.
I'm
That's
just
okay.
kidding.
We know you're a veteran at this, Hillary.
STL Youth Jobs, our organization, our mission is to bridge the divide between the region's skill gap, the workforce, and connecting them to young people who are looking for opportunities, most of the time first or second entry-level opportunities to get into the workforce. So our partnership with Fathers and Family Supports really allows us as an organization to serve more young people each summer and to have more opportunity to not only provide them with job opportunities, placements with local businesses, but also get that supportive service that Fathers and Family Supports can bring to the table, all the resources that they provide across the organization, but also it allows us as an organization to even scale at a greater capacity to have partners at the table like Fathers and Family that are helping us to serve more and more young people every year and also ensure that they're getting paid and they're getting a quality and safe experience as well.
I love that. I love that. So how did this collaboration come about? I mean, for the community that you serve, who you serve, it's a marriage, right? It's a happy situation that can yield great results. You talk about scale and capacity. So how did this collaboration come about, please?
Right. So initially it started with a conversation We had a couple of the board members, they were made aware that we had a youth program, and they came over to sort of see for themselves what type of services we were offering at the organization. And it blossomed into another follow-up conversation, and then just sort of getting to know each other intimately as far as what they brought to the table, what we brought to the table, how we provided the services. And, you know, the rest is kind of a successful history together, like a healthy marriage at this point. Yes.
Amazing. So with that collaboration with what Sherry just mentioned, what has it meant for you guys to have a partner like, you know, family?
Yeah, I mean, our organization, our whole goal is to provide as many summer job opportunities as we possibly can. And we as an organization can't do that alone without partnerships and without experienced leaders in the community. And I think what the rich value that Fathers and Family provides is their connection to the community that we serve, their connection to young people. We're really just giving them the tools that they need to do the work that they're doing and to partner with us to ensure that more youth are getting those opportunities each summer. So their credibility in the community and their recognition provides us with that opportunity to not only continue to provide job opportunities, but also to do it in such a supportive and loving way. We couldn't do this work without each other. Like truly, this is a very collaborative effort, and it makes sense for us both as organizations, I would venture to say. So
a note just came up that said fantastic collaboration, guys. So we're getting some comments going on from St. Charles County Fire.
All right.
So really quickly, for the collaboration, let's dive a little bit deeper in terms of some of the partnership and what it looks like. What would fundraising and what does today's dollars mean to you to make this even more robust with STL Youth Jobs?
What that means is that we are helping youth to stay off the streets and learn different skill sets to help them into their adulthood.
Okay.
The support from the community has been tremendous in supporting this effort as we work together with these youth in this positive collaboration. We're providing the youth with different skill sets that they need, from financial education to job readiness skills, in partnership with St. Louis Youth Jobs, as well as placing them with employers where they're learning different skill sets to be able to apply those in real life situations, where they're learning how to manage with employers, peer-to-peer relationships, and then moving that into saving for their economic growth later on. So teaching them how to save their resources and money for particular goals that they've set for themselves.
You are speaking my language. The reason being because so many times our youth get a bad rap. You know, our youth are doing bad things, making bad choices, but between STL Youth Jobs and what you all are doing in this collaboration, you're helping them have a bright future. You're helping them break generational curses, right? And break generational poverty. So that's why I say you're speaking my language. What we do here at the foundation is try to support and uplift in our economic mobility lens too. So what you all are doing is great work. Tell our viewers why with STL Youth Jobs, why should they continue to support you and contribute to your bottom line to have more capacity?
well, I think we've spoken about this collaboration. If you're supporting STL Youth Jobs, you're not only supporting youth in our community, you're also supporting local businesses, and you're supporting existing community-based organizations in this truly very collaborative system of services. Our main priority, again, is to have as many youth with jobs every summer.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are only able to typically serve around 20% of our applicant pool because of the waiting list that we receive and the amount of funding that we have the ability to raise as an organization. So our biggest ask is to get more money for more paychecks for young people. And I think us pairing that with the supportive services that Fathers and Family is providing to the STL Youth Jobs ecosystem, we have a beautiful way to create a lot of really amazing opportunities for young people living in our community.
Great. I thank you for that. What have been some of the challenges that you all have had to work through in your collaboration efforts together, if you would?
I guess, just making sure that we have the youth addressed as far as the wait list goes, making sure that we complete the orientation with them, making sure all the logistics of what employer they're assigned to, and timesheets, and just all the things. But last summer we had a great outcome.
Yeah.
We had many youth that took advantage of the opportunity. We had lots of employers that were really happy with the youth that were working on the jobs. It gave them an opportunity to pour back into youth from their own communities,
Yeah.
which is always a great thing. So we're just hopeful that we have an even better outcome this year, and through the additional funding are able to support more youth. We don't want to have a wait list. So the funding that we receive will help us to be able to eliminate that wait list.
Serve
So more
everyone
people
who
can
puts in the
Yeah,
application.
absolutely. It
Good
would be
deal.
amazing for our community.
So you all have worked out whatever kinks, and it seems like it's flowing, it seems like there's alignment, and it seems like there's great impact. How many youth are you all serving with this partnership and this collaboration?
In total this year, we have about 100 young people through Fathers and Families. And then in addition to that, we have an additional 300 youth that are working for a total of 400 this summer.
Wow, 400 total youth. What could more money then do for your organization and your collaboration? How many more youth could you serve with more money?
Right, so I mean, ideally, we definitely would love to double that number. You know,
We need 800.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
think about it. That would lessen the amount of youth that are hanging out with nothing to do, which lessens the incident that they would get into juvenile crimes. And so we always want to reduce that risk within our neighborhoods.
That's amazing. Thank you. So really quickly, I'm going to come to you as just with your organization, what you do. With this current environment and the current administration on federal funding being cut, things like that, how are you all navigating through the waters and the challenges that we face with nonprofits in terms of federal funding? How have you
Right.
kind of maneuvered through that?
Right, so there are some very real, risks for our organization. We have 2 projects that are currently funded by federal dollars, one through the Administration for Children and Families, and one through the Department of Justice, which serves our reentry community. So in the last quarter of the year, if we're not able to reapply for some of that funding, we'll be at a $312,000 deficit
Oh, wow.
that we will have to fundraise for. We don't like turning people away that are at risk for incarceration or they're at risk for losing their children to the foster care system. So we just like to make sure that anyone that comes to our door, we're able to provide them with a service. And so we will have to be creative with our fundraising. We have 6 fundraisers that we do a year in addition to about 30 grants that we apply for.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
we have a machine that works on this 24/7.
You're doing the
So
work.
We are absolutely doing the work. And so I know that within our state, they've been extremely helpful and supportive. But we just need them to be that much more supportive in this climate.
That's amazing. Thank you for giving our audience an understanding about the potential impact.
Let's take a look at the video that they sent over, Michael.
Yes, let's
Sorry
go.
to interrupt you.
Yeah, let's go to the video.
So this video, what are we seeing here, guys?
So this is actually our 2023 outcomes. This will be yours over the that we address through the survey. From those facilities, they are able to come to us for one-to-one mentoring and receive services like the one we've discussed earlier.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Sherry. Lastly, with STL Youth Jobs, with your commitment to empowering young people and making sure they're employed and things like that, and giving them skills to be successful in life, right? What's a testimonial that you've heard from someone you've served in your organization that's come back and said, thank you. It's made this difference in my life. Give me just a quick testimonial.
I think this speaks to the true collaboration of this work that we have. We heard from a young person that was connected to Fathers and Families as their provider partner.
Mm-hmm.
So they were working with Fathers and Families staff to get prepped for employment and to be placed in a job. And they happened to be placed working at Fathers and Families. And so Quentin is now employed by Fathers and Families.
That's amazing.
And it was a part of our program. And he spoke at an event we had a few months ago and was clearly nervous, but said, I'm nervous, but he said so much better than I can, talking about the value of supportive work experiences and the value that he had with working with us at STL Youth Jobs.
Yes.
And with Fathers and Family, and it's just a great testimonial that I wasn't even prepared to say today, of someone that we both have had an impact on that continues to be employed today. So,
Yeah. And it was Quentin?
Quentin.
Yeah.
Quentin, okay. Okay.
I would also just simply add, we didn't talk about the job coaches as well, and a lot of young people in our program really value having that particular coach who's walking alongside them throughout the duration of the program, and even year after year after year, being
That's
able to
amazing.
communicate and be able to talk to them as well has been great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm so sorry we're out of time. We got to wrap things up. But thank you so much for coming down. We want to wish you both the best of luck on Give STL Day. We'll be back in 60 seconds with my friends from Freedom Arts and Education Center. Don't go anywhere. Thank you,
Great
guys.
people. Thank you all. Thank you. It's short, sweet, but.
You. Say what? Second, Andrew. It says 20. I know. Actually, like a 10-second delay, or 20-second delay, right? 10. So yeah. You had 10. What's that say, Krista? What's the time?
You know what?
Michael,
Okay.
The
this is
Freedom
it.
Arts, is that that's a video?
Yeah, they're calling in virtually. They're coming on in.
Yeah. Okay.
You ready?
My headphones?
Yeah, we'll see. I
Stop
think
watching
they're here.
that.
I can see the Freedom Arts and Education Center. I don't see anybody from their group.
Hello? You don't see us? You don't see us?
Andrew, are you there?
Yeah,
I
we're
might
here.
need to refresh. So, Michael, while we get them straightened out here,
Okay.
Thank you.
Michael's grabbing his microphone again.
Uh,
This is Give
the-
STL Day 2025 live. Our next group coming up is going to be the Freedom Arts and Education Center. I can talk about them for just a moment here. This is a group that has been a huge part of Give STL Day for a very long time.
I don't know,
Michael,
it's-
I did my first Give STL Day in 2019 and got to visit the Freedom Arts and
That's
Education
amazing.
Center. And having seen their growth over the years, I think we've interviewed them every single year that I've been here. So, Andrew, if you can hear us, they're getting their stream refreshed, and we'll get them calling in. I thought it
Yeah,
would be cool
refresh
this
over
year
here.
to see into the center
We're-
there over on the other side
We're
of
doing
town.
this.
But Michael, I thought that first conversation was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Collaborations are always powerful. It's great to hear. Youth are very near and dear to my heart. I have an 18-year-old son, as well as, Fathers and Family Support Center is near and dear to my heart as a dad, and my dad was in my life. So great to be here.
You can see there on the screen, it looks like we're trying to see, we're getting there.
They're frozen.
That's a cute screenshot there. So it looks like maybe we're getting the Wi-Fi straightened out.
Why do you do that to me?
Make sure your phone is in
Oh,
airplane
that's
mode
not
as well if you're getting phone calls. I think everyone heard that they were going to be on the live stream, so they're just getting phone call after phone call saying,
Got it.
"Oh man, it's 1:18. Where are you? Where are you?"
Yes.
Right. So, in the meantime, let's take a look here at the the big board, Michael, 1,805,000
Hey,
and counting. That's another $100,000 raise.
yes, we'll keep it. We need all of it. In the climate that we're in, we definitely
It's gotta
need
be
as many
signal, right?
resources to pour back
I mean,
into our
we're-
community
we're
for
here.
so many
We're here.
nonprofits who need it. And for those who can hear me, please look at our website by supporting us at www.givestlday.org. That is the way to make a donation, minimum $10, all the way up to whatever your pocket can afford. So make a donation, and we are appreciative, as well as the nonprofits that we're serving. So thank you.
And while you do that, Michael, I'm going to bring up the page here for the Freedom Arts and Education Center, so we can just maybe touch on what they do a little bit.
Okay.
So let's
Okay.
bring that up. So all I did was go to givestlday.org. This is a great little explainer for anyone that wants to know kind of how to participate in the Giving Day. So all I did was type in Freedom Arts, and then you can see a handful of groups here. And then, of course, each organization, Michael, has its own page.
Yes.
Where you can click donate, and we can see now how they're doing. It's 1:23 p.m. here. $3,880 raised by 25 donors.
They're 49% complete to their goal of 8,000. So let's support them. It looks like they're joining us here, Andrew Gibson and his folks. So, yeah.
Andrew, can you hear us?
Oh, we can hear you. Yep, you sound great, Chris. Good to hear from you again.
We can hear them.
Can we say that again there, Andrew?
Yep, we
Hello?
can hear you, and it's good to hear you again.
Gotcha. There you are. There you are. Okay, perfect. So, Michael, take it away.
Hello, Andrew. Michael Whitley here, and it's so exciting to have you guys back with us. You know, Chris sings your praises, says you guys have been interviewed, since day one. So please tell us what you all do at Freedom Arts and Education Center. I've read it. It's great, but I want you to tell the audience what you do.
Yes, we're a youth arts organization. We just seek to support youth as they activate their own power here in the city of St. Louis. And we do that through arts education and learning, academic support, advancement opportunities, and just doing life with them.
That's amazing. One of the things that stuck out to me when I read your profile was you feed, heal, and teach youth. Tell me a little bit more about that, and why is Give STL Day so important to your organization?
Yeah, so we're all students as well. We never stop learning. And the work that we do is heavily influenced by the Black Panther Party, and looking at their community survival programs, really about feeding in a variety of ways, not just physical nourishment, but also feeding the mind and feeding the soul, teaching everything that we can in order for survival, and healing. So where we can provide healing and where we can heal together as a community, we seek to do that. Give STL Day has always been really important to us because it kind of catalyzes our current donors. People that already support us get really excited about Give STL Day and always donate more. And then we reach new donors through the Community Foundations Network.
That's amazing. Who do you have here with you who's joined you?
Yeah, this is my co-founder, program director, and best friend since forever, Miles Dela Cruz.
Hello, Mr. Dela Cruz. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great. Thankful to be here. Thankful to be participating in another great Give STL Day.
Amazing. Shout out to you. So what is one thing that you would like the audience to know that they may not have read in your profile that's on our page? What is something that you all are doing or would like the audience to know about your work and impact?
Yeah, so one of the things that we have coming up is actually just next month, we're starting our summer camp. It's called Camp Cape. And at Camp Cape, we offer a free summer camp for the youth in our area to come in, experience various different art forms, from visual art to movement to poetry to writing to anything you can think of, creating in different ways, looking to build different things in different ways, and just be able to be creative and see what they can do.
Amazing.
So
What's the date for that?
It's,
What's the date for your event?
So it's a summer camp. So it starts in June, the beginning of June, and goes through the end of July.
Got it. June through July. And how many kids typically participate in something like that?
We usually get about 40 kids enrolled, and then it's open enrollment. So as the summer goes on, we always have people knocking on the door, trying to be a part of the camp.
It sounds like it's a hot commodity, and when people hear about it, sometimes people are late to the party. It's like, don't miss the cutoff, don't miss the window, right? So what's the capacity of what's the largest amount of kids that you guys can serve in your summer camp?
Yeah, 40 is usually about where we cap it. We really try to have a really, really good student to teacher ratio, and just really make sure that it's quality over quantity. So as people give, as people financially support, we can increase our capacity, right? We can hire more staff, we can get more food, more supplies, and all those things. So we could hopefully get more than 40 kids.
That's amazing, Andrew. As you talk about staff, I read something. Tell me a little bit about how your scholars become staff members and how you're working to publish curriculum that you've been developing over 10 years. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our youth leader program is a fairly new program. We launched as our scholars had stuck with us for so many years. So we started in 2012, and now it's 2025, and we've had some of the same kids that were 5, 6, 7 years old when we started. They're adults now. And they've been saying all along they're going to take the program over from us anyway. That's right. And so we started the youth leader program so they could actually do that. So if you are 18 years old, you've completed at least 2 years of our program with 85% attendance, and you've attended at least 4 of our annual events, you can apply to be a youth leader and be a paid staff member.
That is amazing. One thing I believe in is giving back to the next generation. So some water, some plant, and then there's increase. So it sounds like you all are very holistic in your approach with the transition from, student to staff member, and then being leaders at what you all do. So I know our time is kind of ending here shortly. What's the last thing you would like the audience to know? And I want them to go to www.givestlday.org to support your organization, Freedom Arts and Education Center. But what's the last thing you want the audience to know about your work?
Well, I guess kind of what we said, that we can be open to more youth. The more money we have, quite frankly. We just lost a federal grant. As there's different federal programs that are being cut, that's really affecting everybody from the small orgs to the big orgs. So we recently lost a federal grant, but we're gonna keep moving forward and offering what we can anyway. In addition to a summer camp, we are starting a baseball league right over here in North St. Louis. There's not a ton of opportunities for youth here in North St. Louis, so we thought, let's add to it. Let's start a baseball league. So that's also starting this summer. And we're in our space here at the historic St. John's Church on North Grand. In the room right next door, we're working on rehabbing it and turning it into just a professional level music and dance studio.
You all are doing great work. I get goosebumps when I just heard what you guys are wanting to do with the funds, and so sorry to hear that you lost, a federal grant. But I would love to talk with you offline as well, Andrew. I have a passion for baseball. I was blessed to play at Missouri State and actually got drafted by the Red Sox. So if you're starting something in North City, let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Let's do that. So audience, please go and support Freedom Arts and Education Center. I think their website popped up a moment ago. Somebody said you guys are doing great videos, and you can also go to www.givestlday.org. And I love what Elizabeth says, give to the organizations that you would love to know about, that you support, and someone that you have already given to. And this could be one that you can contribute to doing great work with youth and arts. Keep up the great work, Andrew and Miles, and it's been great talking to you.
All right, thank y'all. Thank you very much.
So good to see you again. Andrew, hopefully I'll see you again next year, all right?
All right, Chris.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. All right, we are just a minute behind here. So we're going to skip our 60-second break. We're going to go right into Unleash Potential Animal Rescue. So Michael, let's kick off and watch their video, and then we've actually got Patrick here on Herbert Cam. So you're not going to want to miss the doggo action here.
All right.
In just a moment. Here we go. Okay, so this is actually another B-roll video. Animal Rescue is a local nonprofit. So we are joined here by our friends from
Unleash Potential.
Yeah, go ahead, Michael, take it away.
So, Austin.
Yes.
Austin,
How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, just tell me a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah, so we're a small animal rescue. So we started about a year ago. So it was me and a couple other volunteers at another local rescue, and we just saw, as we got more involved, there are just so many dogs and animals in general just in the area that really needed the help, and people just weren't able to keep up with it. So we wanted to start a rescue that focused on helping the ones in our backyard.
Amazing. I love the name, Unleash Potential.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit how you came up with the name.
Yeah, so we came up with the name because we have all these great dogs, including the one talking over here, Herbert. So all these great dogs, they're just sitting in these local shelters and they just need a chance. And like a lot of them, they just don't have space for them, and then they just have these little behavior things where they're just, a lot of them come up as strays, so they're just let out into the wild, so they don't know how to dog yet. So they're just learning how to live in a home, and they just need a little bit extra help. So we wanted to kind of unleash their potential and just allow them to give them that chance.
That's amazing. I hear freedom. I hear exploration, right? That's kind of what Unleash Potential means to me.
Yep.
With that, what are some of the programs that you all do for animals that you guys work with? And then what does Give STL Day mean to you as far as fundraising and trying to do more?
So Give STL Day is just a great opportunity for us to just kind of get our message out there and get more people just learning about the organization and get involved in the community. Like I mentioned earlier, like we really focus on this area. So all of our dogs are from the St. Louis or St. Charles County area. So really focus on this community, and this day kind of gives a chance to kind of bridge that.
What are some of the things that are challenging for you guys as an organization right now that, more money, more capacity can help you overcome these challenges? What are some of the things?
Yeah, so our biggest challenge right now is just fosters and then funds. So we're solely foster based, so we don't have a facility right now. So we're only able to help the dogs we have foster homes for. So if anybody's interested in fostering, then go to our website and fill out an application. But that's the big thing, and then funds just for like our dog's medical cases, like Herbert here, he has cancer, so still going through some treatment for that. So we need more money for stuff like that, and then training just to allow our dogs to really thrive in their homes.
Got it. I have a miniature schnauzer, and people love their animals and love their pets in St. Louis, right? Or St. Charles County. So with people loving animals, why is rescue and stray, why is that an issue with the communities that you all are trying to help?
Yeah, a lot of it just like there's a lot of backyard breeding, and there's a lot of people that just aren't responsible or aren't aware of all the dogs in shelters. It's like every shelter around here, you ask them, they're full or overflowing. They just have nowhere to go with all these dogs, and people just keep breeding them without having anywhere to go with them, and just kind of keeps contributing to the problem.
What's one last thing you would like the audience to know about more money, more resources, more impact? What could more funds to support your work, what could it do for you guys moving forward?
So it just allows us to help support our dogs better and to keep helping more and more. Because like an advantage of us being a smaller rescue, we can really focus on each individual dog and what they need as far as just kind of set them up for success. So whether they need training or they need medical or they just need the right situation, like that resource just allow us to help more and continue making more of an impact.
Amazing. Austin, thank you for giving an overview of what more funds could do, but you said the key word, success. The ultimate goal is what I hear you all saying is provide resources, making sure that the animals that you're serving have what they need, the cost isn't exorbitant, and you're able to give them, let them live with dignity to some degree.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of them, they just sitting in shelters, they just need that chance. So we just want to give them that second chance and allow them to thrive.
Good deal. Let's go to www.givestlday.org and let's support Unleash Potential Animal Rescue. I love the name in and of itself. So let's give these animals an opportunity to be free and to have what they need to go and be great. So thanks you so
for having
much.
me. Yeah, appreciate
the time.
All right, guys, thank you so much, Austin. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Give STL Day 2025 live.
Chris, I don't need to do the headphones.
Welcome back to Give STL Day 2025 Live. My name is Chris Shrek, the Day Guy. You're live from the St. Louis Community Foundation. Michael, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm helping get a cell phone.
That's the second cell phone that went down in the list.
I'm feeling amazing. These are amazing organizations doing great work, needing resources, needing opportunity to do even more with capacity building, with undergirding some of the efforts that people are doing, and with the federal cuts, it's been a tough time for many nonprofits. So I'm doing great though. Thank you for asking, Chris.
Let's roll on to our 132 spot. This is Navigate STL Schools.
So with Navigate STL Schools, I have Stacy and I have Rachel.
Hello.
Welcome to Give STL Day 2025. It's exciting to have you all here. I read some of the things that you all are doing, the advocacy, who you serve, but you tell us what and who is Navigate STL Schools.
So we are a local nonprofit. We launched in 2020, right when everybody was thinking about education, honestly. But what we do is we help parents make sense of the K-12 education system, public, private, charter, independent. We are agnostic around school choice, and while a lot of people think the work that we do is primarily focused on the city, which it is because we do have expanded school choice, what we learn through our work is that nobody knows how to go to kindergarten regardless of where they live at in the region. And so we are working to expand our work into kindergarten readiness, which is helping to prepare all families, regardless of income, social class, education status, to get their kids into education early, which means that making sure that more students go to kindergarten, because kindergarten isn't required in the state of in the state of Missouri. And hopefully with that information and empowering families, we can improve education outcomes in the region.
That's amazing. I know education has been vitally important for me. I'm a first-generation college graduate from my parents, SLPS through 7th grade, then I was bused to the Parkway District, right? And so with that, I have been a lifelong learner, and I have an 18-year-old son, and I've taught him to be a lifelong learner. So some of the services and things that you all are providing, disability, immigrants, refugees, foreign-born population, tell me how more money can give you resources that you need for great work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, so what we believe is that St. Louis in the region has some phenomenal educational opportunities. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know what those are or how to access them, particularly our most at-risk and marginalized populations. While we do have expanded school choice in St. Louis City, that means that we have over 70 kindergarten options for family to choose from. And those 70 kindergarten options just in the city alone have at least 10 different application windows and dates, whether that is a school's independent website or COLLAB STL or the STL magnet school process or your neighborhood schools or different charter processes. All of those mean different things. And ultimately what that means is that our most at-risk families are unable to find quality education options for their kids. So for kindergarten, that means that some families sit out to their 7. And for other educational opportunities, it means that kids are bouncing around until they find a program that meets their needs if they're able to. And what we want to do is reduce that burden for parents and for families, and ultimately help schools as well find the people that their services are going to be the most useful for, so that those kids can find environments that are going to help them to thrive. Ultimately, I think that what our work does and what more money could do is to help us help more families. As we look at what's happening on a federal level, everything that we think that we know about education is going to change next year. And it is going to be vital that families have a trusted source to communicate to them these changes and how they can figure out the best way forward within these changes to make sure that their kids are being educated. And we want to be here in that fight with St. Louis families, helping them to understand all of the wonderful and amazing schools and educational opportunities that they have. And hopefully our work is able to stand up some of the districts and independent schools that will be impacted by some of these changes.
I'm excited about all of what you just said. Is like lightning in a bottle for me. You said a lot, but in a short period of time. But I hear exposure, awareness, and knowledge is power. Often people in underserved communities may not have resources because they just don't know. You stay within a 4-block radius of your home and you don't see it, right? So Rachel, you being the Director of Communications and Development, tell me a little bit about how you get the message out, what audiences you all are touching, and how do you market what you are offering?
Yes, so traditionally we
have taken like a grassroots approach, attending a lot of community events, doing some, geo-targeting, like where are these parents online, where are they in real life? And like Stacy said, we started during the pandemic, so finding people in person was a little difficult at first, but in these last 2 years, we've gained a lot of traction. Oh, yeah, so our partnership with YWCA Metro St. Louis, their Head Start program, some other independent Head Start centers, as well as just some independent, like community early childhood centers, like really being in the community. We attend a lot of events, and sometimes we've noticed a lot of nonprofits have an issue getting out these marginalized communities that we're wanting to help. And so we're in there, like, we're in the communities that we say that we want to help, and we definitely have a good, one-on-one thing with parents, but we want to spread the message. Yes, expand it. Knowledge is power, like you said.
Yes, thank you. I know, Chris, we have to wrap up here shortly. One of the things that I've been in this nonprofit space in St. Louis for about 15 years, and we always had to incentivize people to attend. We're giving away gift cards. We're giving away a gas card. You have to spend money to try to get them in a track, or free food. Food doesn't always necessarily solve the problem, but I do hear what you're saying. The people sometimes—
Who's going to solve my problem?
Mine too at 2 o'clock. The people who need it the most sometimes won't show up. It's fear, it's lack of knowledge, whatever. So keep doing great work. As for those who are joining us, go to www.givesstl.org, givestlday.org, and support Navigate STL Schools. I got online and I saw they have some donations, but I think their monies and their resources can do great work for a mighty cause in St. Louis. Often those who, again, need it the most won't necessarily show up, but today we can help them with marketing. We can help them get the word out with Stacy and Rachel. So this has been great. One last thing you want to say to the audience before you have to log off?
If you're curious about what we do, join us on May 17th at the North County YWCA Center for our Day of Play. And this is to really help connect parents with early childhood education opportunities, as well as connecting them to more opportunities around K-12 education. Also, all of the proceeds today are going to our regional kindergarten access guide, which will be available in all communities for families that are preparing to go to kindergarten or wanting to learn about their local elementary school. So thank you guys, and visit our website, navigatestlschools.org.
Thank you so much. May 17th, get on their website, check out more information to learn more.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Yes. Hello.
Love the connection, and Lisa Ordenzaren just went through our training.
Yes, that's amazing. She and Larry are great people. Ashrei Foundation. I'm gonna turn it right over to you. So welcome back. It's an exciting day to be here at Give STL Day 2025. We are enthused and encouraged by the numbers, but please continue to go to www.givestlday.org, because our nonprofits in this region need support, need help, need as many resources as we can offer given the climate that we're in right now. But today, this afternoon, I have the pleasure of having the Ashrei Foundation, and I have Rabbi Susan, and I have Sarah.
That's right.
What is Ashrei Foundation? What do you guys do?
Ashrei was founded to deal with issues of economic justice, to relieve suffering, and to disrupt cycles of generational poverty. How do you operationalize that? It's a good idea. What do you do? Just as we were founded, the state passed a law that said everybody has to have a photo ID to vote. Well, we dug a little bit into that and found out that you need a photo ID to do everything. Our model is always wanted to be collaborative and cooperative. It just happened that the St. Xavier College Church folks had been doing this work for 20 years. with photo IDs. And so we learned from them, and collaborating with them launched the North City Photo ID Project. We have a clinic every Thursday. We have gotten photo IDs for over 3,000 people, and we're talking mostly about people who are unhoused. We are talking about people who are recently incarcerated. And we're talking about people who are, a lot of single parents who have 3 jobs, who can't go to 5 different places to get a photo ID, but without a photo ID can't access any service to give them the hand up to break those cycles of poverty and access the services that are going to free them and really give their kids a better life. So, we provide bus passes, we provide food because, you come in and you're hungry, and we got snacks, and mostly, the relationships that we're building with the volunteers. We have, how many volunteers have we trained?
We've trained over 160.
Over 160 volunteers, people who really want to do something, who find, and are humbled by the ability to work with our amazing people who make the time to come in and get that photo ID so they can change their lives. And, that kind of led us to other projects. Certainly Sarah's going to talk about our immigration. You meet people and you say, we got to relieve suffering.
Yeah.
So we are deep into immigration reform and trying to relieve suffering in that community. And then the other thing that we're doing where we really could use financial assistance right now is we are working with this most amazing team of people who and have become part of Ashrei that are doing refugee resettlement.
Okay.
We're on our 4th family, 3 from Afghanistan, 1 from Ukraine. And this last family, 2 parents and the cutest 4 little boys you'd ever imagine.
Wow.
And they come into this country with such gratitude. And we give them what they need to succeed, but then they help each other.
Yeah.
So, helping us help them is a real, we call it a mitzvah, it's a really good deed, not just for them, but for the whole St. Louis region. It helps everybody.
Wow. That's an amazing, powerful overview.
Yeah.
When you are dealing with economic, justice, and you're dealing with interrupting cycles of poverty, that's hard work.
It's very hard.
It's deeply rooted work.
Yeah.
It's also work that requires resources. It requires the monies and the things that you need to go and be disruptive, right? So what would more support mean to Ashrei Foundation to move forward with the refugee, resettlement, some of the things that you all are working on? What would more money mean to you?
Sure. So we are still a really new staff and team. So I'm proud to be part of a team of 4 incredible women. 3 of us are full-time, 1 of us is part-time, but we are scrappy and crafty, and we are doing as much as we can with what we have. So
I love scrappy and crafty.
I mean,
I see disruption, I told you.
You gotta be a little scrappy if you're gonna do disruption work. So I think what we're looking at is not only our ability to keep expanding. We were just talking about this in our photo ID work. Shout out to our volunteers who are in North City right now running our photo ID program. But the more we grow, we add new tables, we add new volunteers to serve more people, and it fills up, right? And so we're constantly in a space where the need is outpacing what we can offer, as I'm sure is the experience of many of the nonprofits that are involved today, right? So when we're, we have a robust grant writing process. We are working to build relationships because we know that in order to have enough power to make this kind of change, we have to organize people and we have to organize money. And so being able to do those things together can fuel sustaining the expansion of programs to meet existing needs, funding that would go for the refugees resettlement work are direct costs. So we provide financial aid to the family for 6 months and a year in other ways. Tremendous in-kind giving and support happening there as well. In collaboration, I like to push us to show up first and throw down first, and then figure out how we fund it and
You're just a
sustain it later.
disruptor. Show up first and throw down first. I mean, come on.
When you show up and immigration enforcement is tearing apart our communities, I don't want to have a first conversation about how are we going to pay for a hotline, or how are we going to fund this or staff this. The work first is doing the work and then figuring out how you sustain it. So that puts us in a precarious situation sometimes, because we have to do the work. Yeah. We have to respond and live into our values to heal and repair Missouri through justice and equity.
Very powerful. Go ahead.
It costs. I mean, it should be everyone's right to have a valid photo ID, but it costs a lot. Just to be able to get people's birth certificate costs. It costs to be able to get all of the paperwork that you need. Everything costs. And the transportation, to help people get where they need to go, to pull it all together. So, we have a lot of costs, but as Sarah said, we're going to do the work. We're doing the work.
Yeah. Show up first and then support later. Yeah.
The other thing Sarah's really
30
responsible
seconds,
for
but go
this.
ahead.
And again, as I said, our model is to be collaborative and cooperative with other groups. And you really have been very instrumental in making sure that we have a coalition. So now, because of the success we've had with the photo ID clinic, and the relationships that we've built. I mean, people come in and they say, thank you for caring and making this possible for me. Because you can't do anything without that photo ID. And so now we have, 13 sites across the state.
Amazing.
As well. More than that now.
Yes.
And the way that we do it is, is we go to the people who are already doing this work, the social workers in the library and people in the churches and people who are already doing the work. We have a team that goes out and trains them to help do more photo IDs, to make more opportunities available to more people.
You're tugging at my heart right now. So hopefully those of you that are tuning in, it's tugging at your heart for the impactful work. She said, organize people and organize money. That's a powerful statement right there. So that's what we're doing today. Give STL Day 2025. We're organizing people, organizing money. So shout out to you all, Rabbi Talvi and Sarah, Ashrei Foundation. So go to www.givestlday.org and support the Ashrei Foundation, because you know that your money is going to go for good work and good causes. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been an exciting afternoon, amazing here at Give STL Day headquarters at the St. Louis Community Foundation. And I'm excited, this is my first year on this side of Give STL Day to get to interview. I get to host people. And so today we have Legal Services of Eastern Missouri. I get to spend a few minutes with them. We have Colleen and we have Kim. So I will jump right into it. What is Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, and what do you all do?
Yes, so Legal Services of Eastern Missouri is a nonprofit organization that provides free civil legal aid to low-income individuals. Many people recognize that you are guaranteed under the Constitution legal representation for criminal cases. You are not guaranteed legal representation for civil cases. And there are many individuals in our community who cannot afford quality legal representation, and that's where Legal Services of Eastern Missouri steps in. We represent low-income individuals who are facing situations like domestic violence, evictions, consumer fraud, health benefits. We step in to fill that gap between those who can afford legal representation and those who cannot. We're in 21 counties in the state of Missouri. There are 4 legal aids that cover the state of Missouri, but there's a legal aid organization available to every county in the United States of America.
Amazing. You all are doing great work. Thank you for what you have been doing since 1956. So long time.
Yes, nearly 70 years.
Right.
Michael, let's take a quick look at the video that these guys sent over.
Good deal. Let's do it.
Until all our daughters are safe. Until all our children have families. Until all our families have homes. Until all our parents are cared for. We'll be here.
Thank you for that amazing video. Tell me about the holistic approach to helping people with civil legal issues. Kind of what's your approach to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Beyond the legal representation, we recognize that our clients are coming to us with many needs that they're facing. And so we employed several years ago, about 20 years now, a social work program. And so we ensure that we are providing wraparound services for individuals who are coming to us. Many are coming saying, you know, I need housing referrals. I need to be able to access food. How do I get my basic needs met? In addition to the legal need that they're having. And so individuals like Kim on our team, I'm going to let her talk a bit about her work that she's doing, show up in those spaces for our clients.
Please, Kim, if you would share kind of some of the day-to-day things, what does it look like?
Yeah. So I'm an intake and outreach coordinator with a few of our programs at Legal Services. We have a lot of different programs under our umbrella. I'm with just a few of them. But a lot of what I do is make sure that we show up in the community and that we are available and accessible to people as often as we can be. So that means picking up the phone when people call and saying, hey, how can we help you? You know, what can we do for you right now? What do you need from us? And people call with any and every issue under the sun, you might imagine.
Phone is ringing off the hook all the time,
and
right?
It's my job to figure out how we can help, like what we can do for them in that moment, whether that's a crisis situation where they need immediate assistance right now, or whether that's something where we can build a network of support for them over time. And then also on the outreach side, I really want to make sure that barrier is low by getting us out into the community. So that looks like going to where people are. I think a lot of people think of attorneys as being kind of stuffy or stuck in their offices or, you know, looking a certain way, acting a certain way. And I really want to make sure that people know that that's not true. Our attorneys are all wonderful folks who are very down to earth, who are dedicated to this work, who want to be in the community helping people. So that looks like, you know, going to the local libraries, doing drop-in hours. That looks like going to drop-in centers where people are, youth centers, shelters, things like that. Making sure that we make our presence known and visible so that people feel like they can approach us with anything and everything that comes up.
Thank you so much. That's an important overview for the work that you all are doing. I mean, just how you help empower individuals, how you help them keep their dignity intact as they go through the system legally. What does support and more resources mean to your work moving forward from Give STL Day? Please, Colleen.
Simply put, we're closing the justice gap. There's a difference between those who can access and afford quality legal representation and those who cannot. And it's actually greater those individuals who cannot access quality legal representation. And that is where Legal Services of Eastern Missouri shows up in that space. And so the dollars that we raise that go to do the work that we're doing ensures that we are closing that gap. Our goal is that that gap should not exist at all, and that everyone should have access to quality legal representation for whatever it is that they're seeking assistance for. And so dollars help us do this work every day and show up in that space.
Don't want to interrupt, guys, but speaking of dollars,
Woo! We reached 1.9 million.
That's
I love
amazing.
Numbers. I love good
Love that
numbers.
we get to be here to celebrate that with you all. That's exciting.
Yeah, all because of you,
Yes.
Colleen, and you, Kim.
Yep.
You're sitting here.
That's right.
So,
Absolutely.
With that, if you would, in 30 seconds or so, moving forward, like what would you like the audience to know that they may not know in the write-up or what you just described, but it will make a difference in having more money to do more work? You talk about the gap, but what does that look like?
Yes, so the gap means that we are ensuring more people can stay in their homes, that those who are facing eviction know their rights and can keep their housing. It means that more survivors of domestic violence can secure orders of protection, can make sure that they're receiving child support so that they can thrive and survive in their new homes. It means that Neighborhoods who have abandoned or vacant housing can turn that ownership back over to those neighborhood associations, and we can revitalize communities. It means a great deal beyond just legal assistance. It means we are empowering the community to own and survive and thrive in their lives.
That is amazing, Colleen. Right when you said empowerment, the word empowerment came to mind, literally.
Yes.
It's so much that you all are doing, have done. Please, all those who are watching and will join, go to our website, www.givestl.org, and support Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, because they're doing great work, but they're trying to close the justice gap. So let's give it up for Colleen and Kim. Thank you all for joining us today. And keep up the good work.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be back in 60 seconds with our last group of the hour, the Gateway Arch Park Foundation.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry,
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
I could talk to you all for like another 30 minutes, similar to Ashrei Foundation,
Yes.
but Chris will fire me. He'll say you can't host anymore.
Do you remember visiting the Gateway Arch as a student? The soaring heights, the history in the museum, the views from the top? We're Gateway Arch Park Foundation, and we're asking you to donate to our Journey Fund, which helps ensure every St. Louis child can have this unique educational opportunity. The Journey Fund supports under-resourced schools in our area, and demand has skyrocketed. Your gift of $25 covers one student's field trip that will leave an impression for a lifetime. Help us inspire the next generation of pioneers in this Give STL Day.
Good afternoon, welcome back, welcome back. I am excited. That was an amazing video of Gateway Arch Park Foundation, and it was narrated by none other than Ryan McClure, who's sitting right here in studio with us. So, Ryan, as the executive director of some amazing work, what are you all doing? What are you all working on?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us. I mean, this is just one of our favorite days of the year, and we're just grateful to be part of it. Gateway Arch Park Foundation is the official philanthropic partner and conservancy for Gateway Arch National Park. So the symbol of our entire region to the world is what we support and help. And one of those things, we do that in several ways, whether that's doing really big capital projects like the new museum that you see under the arch. We just reopened the old courthouse on Saturday.
Amazing on Saturday,
new exhibits there. And then we focus a lot on education. So as you saw in the video, the Journey Fund is our way of ensuring that every child in St. Louis gets they deserve to go to the arch. It's theirs, and they deserve to be inspired and learn from this wonderful monument and the history that it holds right here in the middle of our city. So the Journey Fund ensures that under-resourced schools and students there have the ability to go to the arch. We pay every single expense that they would have to get there, whether that's their transportation, their food, lunch, trips on a riverboat ride, and of course trips to the top of the arch. And then trips to the old courthouse. So that's what we're focusing on today. If we give STL Day, is we want to build more support for the Journey Fund and getting kids to the arch.
That's amazing. I heard in the video you talked about $25 covers the field trip for one student.
Yeah, one student,
right?
a $25 donation or more obviously will cover a lot of students. And just last year we helped 3,000 kids get to the Arch and have a field trip there, and that was a 33% increase over last year.
Wow!
All told, since we started this program in 2019, and since then, with a pandemic in the middle of it, we've served 9,500 students. So almost 10,000 students have gone to the Arch through the Journey Fund.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
A couple of things are coming to mind. I'm from St. Louis, born and raised, so I've had the pleasure of being downtown, seeing the evolution of it all, and knowing you for many years now by way of nonprofit work or whatever. I always know that you're going to have a passion and you're going to want the best for our city.
Right.
And so with the work that you guys are doing right now, I hear exposure, experience, and connectivity for our students. So is that some of the work that you guys are wanting to make a difference in?
Absolutely. I mean, there's all kinds of studies that show like field trips like this open the world of possibilities to kids.
Yeah.
And there is no telling what will happen at these field trips and the seeds that plants with the child. For the first time when they look up and they're inspired by the Arch, they learn about the architecture of the Arch, or they learn about the architecture of the old courthouse. They learn about the Dred and Harriet Scott case. They learn about the Virginia Minor case, or the 300 other enslaved individuals that sued for their freedom in that building, in the heart of St. Louis. It's not just important to St. Louis's history, but it's important to our country's history.
Yep.
And when kids get to do that, I mean, that's so important, and we want to do everything that we can to make those experiences possible.
I know Chris is going to kick me off. I probably got about 2 or 3 more minutes, but I would love to know, with the challenges that are happening at the federal level right now, what are you doing to shift or to change some of your outreach, some of your behavior, to raise more money, to have more resources for these much needed activities? What are you doing?
Absolutely. I mean, we everything that we do is based on philanthropy. It's based on giving. That's why it's so important for folks to support Gateway Arch Park Foundation on Give STL Day. But yeah, we are in a new world. There's no mistaking that in terms of how recent changes affect our national park. So it is a federal facility.
Yeah.
So we're losing staff. We were already understaffed, and now we're incredibly understaffed. So that's where organizations like ours come in. I mean, we're here to serve the park, and we're here to serve its visitors. And so whether it's advocacy with our congressional delegation, our elected officials that, look, we need to staff our national parks appropriately so that they can serve American visitors and students that are coming there on a daily basis.
Yeah.
If there's not staff there to help them, that's a big problem.
It's a customer service issue at that point,
it's an experience issue.
Yeah.
So, and that's going to be a problem across the country at our national parks. So, but certainly at the Gateway Arch. So we're continuing to advocate for our staff and for funding for our park, and then always fundraising for the park to do those above and beyond things that we've been doing since our inception.
That's amazing. Thank you for the overview and insight. So for the last 60 seconds, let the audience know what giving to the Gateway Arch Park Foundation will do with the challenges that you just mentioned, but what is that going to do to help you launch and leapfrog into what's to come? So last 60 seconds, and then Chris is going to kick me off.
Yeah. So when you give to Gateway Arch Park Foundation, you are investing in our shining symbol to the entire world, the Gateway Arch. You are investing in ensuring that special things happen at the Arch, that kids get to have amazing experiences there on a daily basis. And you're ensuring that we are investing in our urban core, our city, through the foundation. So we're grateful for the support that we get. We would be grateful for your support on Give STL Day. Thank you, Michael, for everything you and the team at the Community Foundation are doing. We're just really grateful to be part of this.
So thank you, Ryan. That puts a bow on it for me and my segment. But look, the shirt, Give STL Day 2025, www.givestlday.org. Go and support this amazing organization, Gateway Arch Park Foundation. It is the symbol. When you come across the bridge from either side, you see the arch. So let's support Ryan and his organization. Continue to do the good work. It's been great spending time with you, my friend.
Always. Enjoy. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Ryan, thank you so much. Yeah, Michael, when we put up all these graphics, the arch is it's a core part of the identity of the foundation. The step and repeat behind you and everything. that visualization of what the arch means to St. Louis. If you've never been here before, it's gorgeous. The one thing, Ryan, is I've never been up in the arch. It seems like a lot of fun. So I think.
Oh, well, we got to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know people in high
I
places.
know people that can make that happen.
I know a guy now. So thank you so much. Michael, this is a lot of fun. Did you have a good time this hour?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up here so that I can eat lunch before I keel over and die. But we'll be back with our 3 p.m. hour. Michael, I'll just run through. We'll take a look. Look at all these great organizations coming up the rest of this afternoon.
Amazing.
3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. I know we're reading quickly here. And then we'll wrap things up with our very packed 6 p.m. live stream. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back in about 45 minutes with those last 4 broadcasts of our day. Look at that, Michael. I got a comment from, that's Papa Strub there. Hoping lots of people in the giving mood. He heard Ryan was on. And
Thank you, Papa Strub.
Hoping lots of people in the giving mood today. Thank you.
We're doing pretty good.
I think my mom was watching before too. I'd have to scroll way back to find her. But Michael, thank you so much. It's been terrific. Ryan, thank you again.
Thank you.
This is Give STL Day 2025 live. Back in a while. See ya.
Thank you, St. Louis. Thank you, St. Louis.